Okay, hello everyone. My name is Muhamad Dekhsa Afnan and I'm from 23BCI01 and my student number is 23.61.0245. Okay, today I will explaining about functions in C++. Let's get started. Okay, I have some material here. I'm write this from the module that the lecturer or the lecture assistant give it in WhatsApp group. So it is the resume that I've met before. Yeah, pretty same. Okay, so we will talk about function. Okay, and function is usually used to dividing complex program into smaller pieces so that the program will be easier to read and to maintain. So there is some advantages if we use a function, or if our program will be smaller and easier to read and understand, and then our program will be easier to be documented and avoiding error, and easier for debugging, and error occurs locally, so the error don't spread to the other function, so we know where exactly the error is. If the IDE doesn't give us where the error is. Okay, so next to the standard library function. So standard library function is a function that provided by C++ in header files or its own library. So there are two different standard library function. There is like header files and library like standard. So for example, there are system close. Before using standard library function, we have to declare it first with preprocessor. For example, include math.h, which is will including math header library. Okay, so next, program defined function. So we know that before from the previous function, which is standard library function, we have to include the header files or its own library, but in programmer defined function we type the function itself, or the programmer type the function itself. So this type of function have certain unique names and have to be declared outside the main function, and it is consist, void and non-void function. Okay, the first one is void function. So it is a type of function that is not returning anything from that function. So void function will not return any value. So it just like doing some function, like not doing some like program inside of it without returning any value. So it has some characteristics. So a void function have no return keyword, so because not returning anything, so we don't need to type return, and then we have no the function have no data type when the function is being declared. So when we declaring the function, we don't need to declare the type of the return value, because it is not necessary. Instead, we use void keyword for declaring a function, void. Okay, next to the non-void function. So non-void function is a type of function that have return value based on its data type. So it is returning a value from this function. Okay, so it have some characteristics too, like a return keyword because it have a return value, and we have to type the data type when the function is being declared. For example, like int and then the name of the function, and then bracket maybe. So we will see how to type the function in the example later, but in this video. Okay, so because it has a return value, so we're not using void keyword anymore. Instead we use instead we use the exact data type that we want. Okay, so I will open the example from the lecture, from the module. Okay, this is the first void function example. So this is what we call standard library. This is a preprocessor. Okay, this is how we made a function. So any function is declared outside of the main function. So we cannot declare a function inside of main function. We can't do that. So we have to declare it outside of the main function, like this. So because we use void, or the example use void here, so this is a void function that has no return, so it is just print the hello welcome. This is the second example. So we can call the function in the main function by typing the name of the function and then the bracket. This is the third example, still with a void function here. So we can like adding a parameter. So if we add a parameter with string data type, so we can use the string data type as a local variable inside the function hello for this example. So string name or string nama, we can just using it inside the hello function. Okay, next. Okay, this is a function that have integer type of parameter. So we can have some like math here, and then we print the return, but we are not, or the example not return any value, so it's just a print. Next, we have the example 5, the void. So exactly the same as before, but it is just we use the program can input the width and height in the program, in the console, not in the program. Okay, this is how it looks. Okay, this is the second void example. Still the same, isn't it? Oh, it is. We can declare the function first, and then defining the function above the main function. So if we don't use this if we don't declare first, and then we have to rightly dividing it like this. So any of other function except the main function, we have to declare it and defining it if we don't declare it first, and above the main function. Okay, this is the example for non-void function. We have to write the data type before the function name. Here, this function is returning an integer value. Okay, and the last one is recursion or recursive function. Okay, what is recursive function? Recursive function is a function that calling another function. It can be itself or calling their self, like in this example, or if a function calling another function, it also can be called as a recursive function or recursion. But in this module, it is just one. There is just one example for recursive function, which calling itself, calling their self. Okay, this is a factorial function, so it will factorialize, like from if we factor 5, so it will 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1, and something like that. Okay, I think that's enough for today's explanation. Thank you for watching.